Hi guys, today's video we're going to talk about the mindset in terms of how to get a skill to solve a problem through two avenues, free content or paid courses, and which one is best for you. So if you're starting at zero, you're most likely not going to have a credit card, so the free content avenue is your only option. But if you do, or if you do have some money to spend and splurge, then yes, you might want to consider a paid course. So let's go through the paid course route and see how it's marketed and what to expect. I've tried a couple of paid courses before, and I'll be honest with you, they've helped and they haven't helped. One, they've provided me information and skills to apply, but the overall outcome and the overall delivery, it didn't deliver what I promised. So it did address the offer and what I wanted, which is to learn a skill, but it did not deliver. You need to understand the difference between the two. The deliverables are what you want to solve the problem, okay? And the want is what you think you're going to expect to solve the problem. And the way that you get the problem solved is to execute it. So if we go through a paid course route, you're paid for the course for, let's say, $2,000 or $5,000. You get the value with tutorials, workshops, and a step-by-step process in terms of how to learn a skill. So you learned the skill, you've implemented, you lost some money, and now you're trying to get your money back. Okay, so you go all the way down this way, and the aim is to solve the problem, which is you spent the money with the aims to learn the skill faster than what you would expect to when you're searching and researching for free content. Okay, so the way paid courses are like, it's the ability to learn faster and to implement faster. Okay, hence why a problem is solved quickly. The only bias and the only way it will not work is that the course will not give you discipline. Okay, discipline comes from constant practice and constant repetition of the skill every day and refinement of what mistakes you made, what went right, and reiterating the problem or the procedure and fine tuning it. Okay, if you do not implement the skills, it will not give you the answer to the problem. Therefore, you will most likely give up after 2 to 3 months. I'm saying this from personal experience because I bought a course, learned the skill, applied it, and gave up. It's as simple as that. I learned the skill very quickly compared to just doing my research on YouTube. So I did pay to learn the answer and to find the answer quicker. So that's the good thing about courses. They have sieved down all the information to tell you exactly what you should be doing to apply the skill, but it's definitely up to you to implement the skill to solve the problem. And if you give up, you go back to the problem, okay? You go back to the start, which is not where you want to be because you're pretty much starting all over again. So in my experience, I went through a lot of paid courses essentially to learn how to do a side hustle, understand personal finance. And I'm not saying it's a bad or good thing. I'm just saying now I'm in a position of knowing what to do and where I should be going. I believe I need to go through the free route and create attention, and that's through personal branding, which I never learned from paid courses. I went through a drop shipping course, learned how to drop ship, tried that didn't work. Learned video editing skills with the aims to build attention through short form content. Applied that didn't work. And I'm not blaming the courses, I'm blaming myself because I didn't keep at it and I keep changing it up and I keep changing it up. So what tells me that I'm going to change it up again? I might, but going through this free content route, it's forcing me to not put money into another course that very likely I'm going to throw away. If anything, I'm going to apply it through free content and see whether or not I can build organic traffic through there. Okay, so When you jump on YouTube, there's two things that you're going to look at. You're going to search for someone with a personal brand. You're going to watch their free value, which is their videos. It's going to build curiosity. You're like, can I learn this skill? Can I implement this skill? This is a very interesting skill that I want to learn. Let me watch more videos. The more videos you're watching, the more trust you're building with this personal brand. Okay, so now that you're in their world, you're in their funnel, you're in their world of videos that you keep consuming and consuming. This is going to build more trust into the personal brand that you're watching. Like, you know what? I trust this guy. I think this guy has some good value and he's giving it to me for free. I'm going to try apply this. The other way is they might be selling you something and you're like, dude, he's giving me so much free content. I'm going to buy his course. So that's attention for organic traffic. You just stumble across it, you get the free value, and there's two decision trees. You implement it and you create and you learn, and then you solve the problem. Okay? And this can take a long, long time. So this is one thing I've started to acknowledge. I shouldn't be chasing the money, nor should you at the start, because it's so competitive. And once you chase the money, every single time you go on YouTube and you see the thumbnail and it's like how to get from 0 to 10K a month, it's the woman in the red dress analogy. The woman in the red dress analogy. They got your attention and you're like, I need 10K. I really need 10K to solve my life problems. But little do you know, and little do they tell you that it's so hard to get 10K. Okay? It's hard because it requires a lot of your time, especially if you don't know the skill. Okay, so what you should be doing instead, okay, is doing as much free stuff as you can and providing so much value to the marketplace, which are trying to build an audience and to create so much value that people are going to you'll generate attention to people, okay? And that's what you're going to do to solve the problem. No one knows you yet. So if you were to have a skill to apply it, every other person has that skill. But what every other person doesn't have is your personality and your take in things. And sometimes it's a fast way, so you get there faster, or it's a slow way, but it's a more genuine, authentic way to solve the problem, okay? So that's one way of creating a skill, which is just talking in front of a camera and solving a problem. Otherwise, if you don't use the free value, you're just going to keep consuming and consuming. You do not apply it. Okay. And then you go back to the same problem. You do not go down this ladder and you've solved the problem. You go back up to the start where the problem never got solved. Okay. So for you to be an attractive personal brand, or for you to implement a skill that stands out in front of everyone else who's got the same skill, how do you do that? You provide constant free value constantly until you've built an audience where they just want to give you money, okay? And that comes from attention. If you cannot generate attention, no one will know who you are. You can have 10 out of 10 with the product skill, the service skill you're providing. But if no one knows that you have 10 out of 10 skills and you've got someone else who has 5 out of 10 of the skill that you have, but they're generating so much attention, they don't even know who you are. They're just going to go to the guy that has the lesser skill than you. And let that sink into your mind. I'm nowhere near as smart as I'm just a normal guy that just realized how attention is so important in today's society, especially since everyone is locked into their mobile. That's where your access is. Do not look for money, look for attention, and look to generate attention. And that is your ticket to being successful in today's marketplace and in terms of creating a job specifically for yourself. Okay? This is the way out if you are doing a 9 to 5 and you're stuck with a wage that cannot go any higher because you've hit your plateau. You need to finish your job every day, flick on your laptop, open Loom, and start talking about anything until you've identified a problem. And for most 9 to 5s, you've hit a peak in terms of your wages, or you want to try to figure out a way to save time and to leverage more of your money. Once you understand and you can curate an idea that can solve this, people are going to keep watching you, and that's what you're going to start off with. Until then, do not think about money in the short term because you haven't figured out how to implement the service or the skill yet, and you do not have an offer that people are going to say yes to. The only offer that people are remotely going to say yes to is if they're going to watch your content. Okay, so free content is the way to go. Consume enough to identify that you need to start making it yourself. Do not consume to the point where you're just not going to have the initiative to create your own YouTube channel. So start creating content. If you've got a credit card and you're willing to spend money, you're more than welcome to go for paid courses. But if you don't, you have to just take the slow route, okay? This video is specifically to focus on the slow route is most likely the better route because you start to learn from your own mistakes, and this is where you're going to start to fine tune the offer that you're going to make as well as the problem that's going to be solved, because the problem cannot be solved by one iteration. You're probably going to do multiple iterations, i.e. multiple videos, to really understand what the problem is before you solve it. You think you might have solved the problem after the 5th video, but if anything, another problem will come up, and you just have to keep figuring out and keep shaving off and figuring out what is the best way to solve the problem. And the problem that you have is probably the same person's problem. And this is where you start to niche down to your specific target group. There's going to be someone out there that's got a 9 to 5, that's sick of it and wants an easy way out. And this is the easy way out, okay? You get a Loom Chrome extension, you start recording yourself, and you start talking about yourself. You start talking about a problem that's really stuck in your head, and you really want to solve it. And you provide that free value, and that's what's going to draw attention, because people are going to keep watching your video after video, and you're going to understand that you've got something here, and that's the way out. Okay, so thanks again for watching this video. I hope this is going to encourage people to start doing their own research and to take the slow way through. Okay, because to get 10K a month, it's probably not as easy as you think it is. Okay, especially if you do not know how to generate attention. If you know how to generate attention, then yeah, it's probably going to be easy. But if you don't know how to generate attention, take your time, get good at talking in front of a camera, and start making videos. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.